Hello, welcome to Nintendo Nostalgia, episode 40. I'm your host, Jacob Russ, and I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle Martin. And we are back, and we are playing with Power. Kyle, man, welcome back, dude. I have to admit, it was a little hard to just say your name and not say Ryan's there. Ryan's not here with us today. We had some issues come up at the last second, and Kyle, who's already planned to be on the show, is here with us. But, man, Kyle, welcome back, man. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to our discussion.
Hey, you better be, because we're only doing it because of you. Now, I love this game that we're going to be talking about today, too. That's part of my childhood. But what's new with you, man? What you up to?
Nothing too much. Just working away on some art.
Art? Oh, yeah.
About it.
That's right, because Kyle does the artwork for Nintendo Nostalgia. I know we have like one piece of art right now, but we got more in the works. Don't worry, folks. But Kyle, you went on a little bit of a big hiatus, haven't you, from gaming?
Yep. I packed away all my games, sold my TV, sold all my systems except my Nintendo stuff, and taking a gaming break till probably Christmas.
That's right. He had to get it out so he could focus on his wonderful art. Isn't that right?
That's right.
That's dedication there, man. Until I invite you over to my place and we just game all day, and then you like waste all your time and your streak is over. But well,
hopefully that doesn't happen.
Hopefully not, but you know it's going to. I won't allow, especially, man, my birthday comes up, you know we're going to be playing games. You got to make an exception then, so.
Yeah, it's going to be tough when Metroid comes out.
All right. Well, I want to go ahead and get into the news of the day, so, because there's actually some stuff to talk about this week as opposed to last week. So, everybody, let's get into the news.
Something that's exciting to me is that Rayman Legends has finally got a release date.
Finally, yes.
Coming out September 12th. And I've beat it before, and I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite platformers of all time, and I hope you get it, Jacob.
I am. I mean, I know you've told me about it, and you've busted my chops because I never got it on Wii U. I did play that demo. I mean, I remember standing at GameStop playing the demo, and it was like rhythm-based movements. One of them was like, I think it was the Girl Viking, and I do look forward to picking it up. You know, I mean, heck, technically I could go get it on Wii U right now, I'm sure, but at this point, I'm waiting for the Switch version.
Yeah, man, having that on the go, it's gonna.
Oh yeah,
it's a good looking game too. You're gonna love playing that on your little screen.
Oh yeah, I am excited about it, especially with all the hype. And Mr. Andrew Schwann, name drop right there, fellow listener of the show. He called me out this week on our Nintendo Nostalgia chat too that I need to get this game. So I plan on it. I really do. I'm glad we finally have a release date. And didn't it like we had a European demo come out, but then it got taken off. I heard it was. Did it? Yeah, it got taken down after it shortly was released. I think it was an accident.
Yeah, I saw. They said this was from Nintendo that the demo was coming out later this summer.
I had just heard about that myself. You're correct. So yeah, hopefully I get the. I mean, I'm definitely will get the demo. I'm already sold on getting the game, but that looks great. So if you guys never played it, go get it. And if you did get it, go get it just to support Ubisoft because. Heck, man, that company does do a lot for Nintendo, even in their struggling times, which I admire that. So a couple of pieces of news I want to bring to the table. First off, I wanted to talk about the Metroid function for the Amiibos. I'm actually happy that we got some news on this. So I'll run through real fast. The Samus Aran Metroid series Amiibo did to an Eon Reserve Tank, a special ability recovery, and Metroid 2 Art Gallery unlocked after beating the game. Metroid series Amiibo, Metroid Maker or Marker tells you the location of the nearest Metroid, which actually, you know, can be pretty helpful if you've played the old game. I mean, that's going to be That'll be nice if you're confused because you can't leave each area the deeper you get into the game. Spoilers, everybody, until you've beaten all the Metroids in a specific area. So that'll be nice. And then Fusion difficulty mode unlocked after beating the game. I think this is awesome because Metroid Fusion is my personal favorite Metroid game. My gosh, Kyle, we haven't had a Metroid.
So what exactly does that mean?
It basically means you unlock hard mode, but you get to play hard mode with the Fusion suit from Metroid Fusion.
The Fusion suit, okay.
Yeah.
The headlines on that and didn't really
get
into the details too much.
I'm really excited about that just because I don't really play hard modes like Donkey Kong Country, Returns, and Tropical Freeze. They have hard modes, and like, dude, the game is tough as it is, but it's like the journey is so long, I don't feel like playing a hard mode, at least right afterwards. But with this, we've been so long without a side-scroller Metroid. I'm really tempted to play the hard mode, especially with the Fusion suit, because I love Metroid Fusion so much, and I wouldn't cry if they made a remake of that next. But so then we have the Samus Aran Super Smash Bros. Series amiibo. That gives you a missile reserve tank, missile recovery, concept art gallery, and then unlocked after beating the game. And then Zero Suit Samus Super Smash Bros. Series amiibo, energy reserve tank, energy recovery, sound test, unlocked after beating the game. So there you go. I mean, they're not the best of functions. Some of the stuff, you kind of could see as locked behind paid DLC, like the Eon reserve tank. And what's the missile reserve tank? Does that mean I get one extra missile through the amiibo? That's kind of silly in my personal opinion. And an energy reserve tank.
Well, you actually
I
get
don't know
the 5 missiles, isn't it? 5 or 10 missiles, shouldn't it be?
Right. Yes. Every time you collect a missile upgrade, you get upgraded 5 missiles. But so maybe I'm misreading it. It says missile recovery, so maybe it just refills all your missiles if you're running out, and the reserve tank fills all your energy.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say that's kind of silly. That it's like, one energy tank is in this amiibo. That's a steal of money there, but okay, I can see. I actually probably, unless I'm really stumped, I could see me doing that like before like a big final fight with the boss, because I remember in Metroid 2, you had to grind seriously to just heal yourself and get the missiles full back before going and killing more Metroids in different areas or going and fighting the Queen Metroid. I mean, that was annoying because I replayed this game last year because we had an episode way back in November of last year. Everybody go check it out. I did that, and it took a lot of time. You're not guaranteed health or energy or anything like that. So, but no, that's cool. But the big topic I want to talk about was I believe it was Saturday night. No, it was Friday night. Friday night at midnight, there was a drop of pre-orders for Walmart for the SNES Classic. Totally caught me off guard. Everyone was up playing Splatoon, or people were in bed already. It was a blessing in disguise because I was going to go to bed or way earlier than this. And when I tried to go to bed, my daughter decided it was time to wake up and play. So we actually just went out and sat in the living room, and I just was playing on my phone or whatever. And all of a sudden I get a text from Ryan, SNES Classic has gone up for pre-order on Walmart. And he pre-ordered 2 in case I didn't get one in time, because he's actually giving me one for my birthday. But I ran up, and I still paid for one. I got one in, and I thought they were locked in. And then I saw on Monday that some people had been getting theirs canceled, and that it was actually an accident on Walmart's end, that it wasn't supposed to happen, at least not yet. And that they've been emailing customers and having to cancel their orders. Now, I will say, as of right now, Ryan and I both, our orders are still active. They're still processing. They have not been canceled, which I take as a good sign. My guess is maybe maybe they just had to wait till a certain amount of like a certain number. So if Ryan and I got them in real quick and we're at that starting entry of numbers, that we're safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get to what you're saying. Like they had a certain cutoff, and you guys just squeezed in before that cutoff.
I mean, essentially, that's the only reason I could see why we wouldn't have ours canceled. Now, Ryan's concerns me because he did order 2, so I could see like if anyone got at least one of them canceled, one of those would be. But man, I mean, if they were going to cancel them, they would have canceled them by now, I would think. So I really hope that's not the case because I'm glad to have it locked down and don't have to worry about it. But I do know that Target was reached out, and Target has confirmed that they will be doing pre-orders. They haven't announced it when, but they said they do plan to do pre-orders. So, again, as I said, I checked before I even got on. As of now, it's still processing and has not been canceled. So I think I'm good. And at this point, that's Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's Tuesday. It's been 4 days. I mean, that's past 3 days. So I think we're getting really close to being okay. So, but that's exciting for me. But again, there's some other tidbits of news, but those are really what I wanted to touch on. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into what have we been playing. Kyle, you are our guest. So let's tell everybody what you cranked out before you went on this hiatus and sold your television.
Well, I hope you're not too offended, but I 100%ed the original Crash Bandicoot.
Oh my gosh!
The remaster of it. And
I'm not offended.
That game is brutal.
Yeah, I know it. We played it together 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, like Paris said on Twitter, it makes you appreciate Mario.
Yeah,
but nevertheless, it was a lot of fun. It's probably the most angry I've ever been at a video game, but I enjoyed it a lot.
What do you take of his comments? I mean, some people probably that really PlayStation hardcore fanboys probably took offense to that. What do you think of that?
I don't know if they're offended. I think that's silly because it is like especially the first one. I'm sure that's the one he was talking about. It's
right. It's
rough in spots, like the jumping and landing. And there's a level on there where you're really. I think I showed you it. The one where you can't like see any platforms and you just jump and they appear.
Yes.
Yeah, that one was infuriating. But I guess the second one is supposed to be a lot better, which I haven't played yet. So,
well, a lot of them they improve as sequels go, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have, fixed up a few things here and there, which I know they did, but even went further, since they're remaking it anyways. So,
just Crash Bandicoot, or have you beaten anything else?
Well, I've been on the 100%ing craze. So I did that with pretty much with Kirby Triple Deluxe, Wario Land 2.
Wow.
Which that one was super rewarding to do. Donkey Kong Country Returns. And
oh, yeah.
Did I already say Super Princess Peach?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I was going through a bunch of platformers, so.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you really, I knew that you were doing that, but not everyone else knows that you were really grinding out like a whole list of games because you knew this break was coming up. So,
yep.
Kudos to you, though, man. That's a lot of work in a short amount of time since you started.
I know. It's kind of pathetic, but it was fun.
It's what matters. First world problems, right?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, what I've been playing, you bought me Wario Land Shake It for the Wii, a game I never played. So I've been diving into that. I'm not too deep into it yet, but that's what I've been playing as of lately. But before that, I beat Donkey Kong Country Returns, thanks to you re-challenging me to go back and visit the game. And guess what? I 102% in it, sucker, so I could beat you.
And tell him, Jacob, I was right.
Yeah, it's a fun game, man. I mean, it's
better than you gave it credit for.
Yeah, it's better than I remember. I mean, I won't lie. My inner Kong, I think, was not alive awoken back then. Like I've always liked Donkey Kong, and especially because Traven and I and the memories we've had. And I've just meditated to Donkey Kong naturally without, when I think back about it, like I always pick Donkey Kong for Smash Bros. Early on in Smash Bros. For Mario Kart, Mario Party, I was always choosing Donkey Kong, and I think I did it subconsciously. And I'm serious, because once I guys, I listened to a show called Conversation, and it is not a family friendly show. Just to warn you, if you want to listen to it, but it's all about the DKU, the Donkey Kong universe, and listening to their reviews about games, they really got me back into Donkey Kong and really just awoken this love for Donkey Kong that I have. And Donkey Kong is now my favorite franchise of all time. Currently on Nintendo stuff. Out of all the franchises, I have to say DK.
Is it? I thought it was Zelda.
I mean, it used to be, but now that Donkey Kong has just taken over my life the past 2.5 years, man. I mean, I've revisited every single game in the series just about. I've rebought the games twice over, and I've replayed them. I mean, I beat Donkey Kong Country twice in 1 year on the 3DS, and then I beat it on the Super Nintendo last summer, and then I bought it again for the 3DS after Christmas on my new 3DS. I got my new 3DS, and I played it and beat it again, and I'm in the process of playing Donkey Kong Country 2 again. I beat that last fall, and I love it. And I beat Donkey Kong Land, and I'm in the process of beating Donkey Kong Land 2. The only ones I've neglected are Donkey Kong Country 3, and I'm going to beat that on my new 3DS. That's the plan after I beat these twos and Donkey Kong Land 3. But even when I got Tropical Freeze, like I loved Donkey Kong. I liked it. I got it because like I remember I was going to have surgery and I was going to be out for a while. And Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze was releasing that February, and I bought it knowing I was going to be out of commission and was going to play this game on the sidelines. So, but even then, like I didn't 100% things. Like I just played them and moved on. And now I'm obsessed with the soundtracks, the games, and the characters and the story. I love it all. So I replayed it, and it was great. The music. I mean, the downside was the Tikis are lame as an enemy. I think overall, I really miss the Kremlings.
I think that's what sets up into the trilogy even better, is that the Kremlins have been left out, and now hopefully we'll get the third and final in like a trilogy, and King K. Rool will be back, or maybe Captain K. Rool.
He better be back, and he better be back to stay. But yeah, so I really enjoyed it, and the music that they're missing too. Like it was great to what I was impressed, Kyle, about when I revisited was how true to form, like the feeling and the music felt to the original, the very first Donkey Kong Country. And because I appreciate Donkey Kong Country even more as of late, that's how I noticed that. Like when I first got the game,
that's actually what I didn't like about it. That it was basically just Donkey Kong Country.
Well,
for Super Nintendo music,
right? That's what I liked, but that's also what I didn't like. So, like I like that. That's what made me admire this. Like, wow, they really stayed true to form with Donkey Kong Country Returns. And if I would have been into it as much as I am today, back in 2010, like that would have been really cool. Like, oh my gosh, this feels just like the old games, you know. But what the second game from Retro improved on was they brought back David Wise, and he did variations of older songs, but he made pretty much a whole new soundtrack for an amazing game that should get a re-release on Switch. Gosh darn it, because that's an amazing game, and it would sell way better on Switch. It really would. So, but yeah,
that's
David.
Why they come out with a third one. They make a trilogy pack, HD pack.
Yep,
and release that.
I agree. I'd 100% be down for that. I would replay them all again. So
and have David Wise rescore Donkey Kong Returns.
That would be so cool, man. That would be really cool. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. And Puyo Puyo Tetris, real quick. My wife loves that game, man. Since she got it last week, I said on last week's show, she's obsessed with it. And last night we just sat down and time flew by, and we literally just kept playing Tetris and Puyo, facing off against each other like 3 or 4 hours before bed. And it was midnight by the time I went to bed. It was crazy. So I love it. I love that she's loving this game. And it's not my favorite game. I mean, I'm not awesome at it at all means, but I just love that I have something I can play with her with, you know? So, yeah, that's what I've been playing. But other than that, guys, man, I think it's time to start talking about the meat of the show here. Kyle, what do you think?
Sounds like a really good idea to me.
Oh, man, yes. Guys, this is our last week in the Game Boy dedication month for this year. I mean, we want to take the whole month of July and just dedicate it alone to the Game Boy and talk about some classic Game Boy games and the system itself and the revolution that it is and was and is. And guys, this last game that we have chosen for you all is if they ever release a Game Boy Classic, this one needs to be on there. Guys, this is Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land.
So Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land, was released in Japan on January 21st, 1994, and in the U.S. on March 13th, 1994.
Yeah, dude. Wario Land is a game we've kind of been building up for here because we had our Wario dedication episode last month, right after E3. Heck, we recorded it the same day we did the E3 live reactions episode, but go check it out if you missed it. Wario Land is very unique, I think, in Nintendo's catalog, just because the game before that you saw of this, Wario, he was the villain, dude. I mean, Wario was the surprise bad guy who was after Mario. He was the evil bad guy. It wasn't Bowser. It was Wario. And then the fact that they take him, so maybe this wasn't the first time they ever did it. I correct me there, but they took the villain and they made him the good guy. I guess they essentially did that with Donkey Kong and made Donkey Kong a hero. But
and they also did that with Mario.
Yeah, Mario essentially wasn't he the villain at first?
He was the villain in Donkey Kong Jr. because he plays Donkey Kong Jr. trying to rescue Donkey Kong from Mario.
Absolutely, yeah. So I guess they had done it a couple times there, but this was really cool though that they spun a villainous character that they could have done more with. They could have made Wario like, oh, he's the bad guy for all the Mario Land games, and they could have just stayed that route. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which would have been cool. No, I think a lot of people, and including especially you, are glad that they never did that and that they made Wario a hero. I mean, he's a greedy anti-hero per se, I guess. He doesn't necessarily have the best motives, but nonetheless, he's a powerful character.
I just think it's cool that, I don't know, you know me, I'm the biggest Mario fan, and they just took the Mario universe and made it weird, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And made it a little gross. It was just cool to see them do something so different. And I wish more people appreciated it, but I think they kind of see it. Some people probably see it as, maybe even a poor man's Mario or just too weird, because after first Wario Land anyways, they kind of went away from the Mario formula. Right.
Well, they did an awesome job with Wario. I mean, he was so different than Mario because, like, as a kid, I loved his moveset. I loved the fact that he rammed people with his arm. He had this big burly arm. He was just like, it reminded me, because I always played football. he reminded me of just plowing somebody over with football, and he hits them so hard they drop their coins.
Yeah, lowering your shoulder.
Yeah, I love it. I thought it was so cool to me back then. I still do. It definitely was different than Mario. Mario walks into somebody and he gets hurt. Wario, he just plows right through him. That's cool. He's OP in that way. Now let's talk about Wario Land itself.
Well, actually, it was about, I don't know, 2 months ago. I repurchased the 3DS, and mainly because I wanted to play this game. And yeah, that was my first experience. I already knew it was kind of, for the most part, a weird Mario. And it was everything I expected it to be, just weird and cool. And
well, you came from playing the other Wario Land games first, correct?
Yeah, the first one I ever beat I never beat it because I don't think I quite wrapped my head around it, but it was the one for Virtual Boy, which I think was pretty similar to the first the first Wario Land.
Mm-hmm. I think it had the same name, just Wario Land for Virtual Boy.
Yep. But yeah, I love both of them just because my favorite thing about Mario games is the power-ups, and Wario Land has different power-ups, so that was always cool to me, especially the dragon hat or whatever. I just thought it was so cool that where Mario you change, he'll get like a raccoon tail or a squirrel or all kinds of different things. A cat outfit, you get like a complete outfit. But with Wario, you just get a hat. And for some reason, I always thought that was cool.
Right. Well, my own personal experiences with the game, man, is like I said a couple weeks back when we did Mario Land 2, this game is probably the second game I ever beat, ever. I mean, I played this game through and through on the Game Boy. This one really means a lot to me because we had Mario Land 2 and I beat it. I don't remember why I was able to get Mario Land 3, Wario Land, because typically I only got games for my birthday and 1 game for my birthday, 2 games for Christmas. That was the rule at our house. And so what I think it was actually, I'm pretty sure this is it. It was the end of school year, I'm in elementary. I think it was like preschool era back then. That's how young I was. I think I had done a good job at school at completing some things, and my mom wanted to just reward me. And so I vividly do remember, though, we went to the Meijer down East Washington Street. Back then, they actually had a pretty cool gaming section. I think it's trash today, but back then it was really cool. And it was in a different spot, too. But I remember going up and getting in there, and my mom was like, Jacob, what game do you want to get? And I remember just looking, and I chose, and I saw Super Mario Land 3 on there, and that's what I think drew me in, along with the vibrant colors. It's almost an exact same feeling I get when I look at the cartridge of Mario Land 2, because what I loved about that cartridge was all the vibrant colors, the wacky cartoons. It had a shark with punching gloves on it and a giant Mario on the front just jumping up with bunny ears. Like, that was cool to me on that one. And then you get this cartridge, and it's got like pirate ducks, and it's got Wario busting out like he's trying to almost break the fourth wall. He's like lunging at you with his arm. It really was just bright and colorful, and it had that Mario name attached to it. So I actually thought, I'm pretty sure I thought I was getting a Mario game because it said Super Mario Land 3. And I loved Mario, and my story, we didn't have the home NES anymore because it broke. So Mario on the Game Boy was all I had at this point in my life. And I missed Mario. So that's my initial memories of getting the game. And again, this was a game I played through and through. I'll tell you exactly where I was when I beat the game later on when we get to the end of the game here. But no, this is a special game to me, and I think a lot of people should play it. Now, I want to revisit the hats. You talked about the hats. All the hats we had like the jetpack hat. It was like you could.
It was
fly.
like a falcon or an eagle hat.
Yeah, and it shot like jets out the back end of the hat, and you flew. That hat is OP because you got really fast and you could fly large distances with that hat on. I really like that hat. We had the Viking hat, which was pretty cool, and then we had the dragon hat, like you said. As a kid, I didn't think much of it. Today, when I revisited the game just for this episode, I actually had an issue. And this is stupid on my end, I guess. Some people think this is dumb, but I played football in high school, and I took rivalries pretty serious. And our rivals are the New Palestine Dragons. So I actually avoided using that hat as much as I could in the game. And I only wanted to play with the Viking hat because we were the Mount Vernon Marauders. And to me, that like resembled that's my school, that's my home turf. And I hate the Dragons. So that's
that's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That dragon hat's awesome, man.
Yeah, it came in handy at some parts. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't like it when I had to use it. Oh my gosh, Sorry, I'm loyal. What can I say? I'm loyal. To this day, I'm loyal. So no, the power ups though are cool and they're unique. And Wario, this game, he basically after Wario Land, or Mario Land 2. He got kicked out of his mansion / castle that he had by Mario. Mario takes it over. And this game, he is out on an adventure to basically find his own place now. He lost his old place, so he's going to go find his own. And the whole key thing about this game, too, I think it took some advantage of something that Mario always failed to do, really. Mario's done a crummy job at giving you a reason to collect coins besides an extra life. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
This game, you actually had to collect coins and they had value to it. Heck, even at the end of every level, you went into a tree stump and you could either try to get extra lives because lives weren't quite as easy to come by as in Mario, like collecting 100 coins. Or you could gamble your money. You could double the coins you found, or you could lose half of it. So
what was it? Flip the bucket.
Yes.
Right, and either money would come out, or was it an extra life, and like an anvil would fall on your head.
Yeah, an anvil would fall on your head, or you got bags of money. So
yeah, that's what it was.
You had three choices. So you could go in there and you could get bags of money, and then you could get hit with the anvil twice in a row and lose everything. Or you could get all money, or you could come out even, Sometimes I would go in there and I would just do it once and I doubled it. Like, all right, I'm getting out of here just so I could get out with some cash. But you wanted to collect it, the coins, because it actually plays a huge part in the final ending of the game.
Yeah, there's a key you can find in certain levels. And if you find the key, then you have to find a hidden chest. And then once you find that, you can get a treasure, which you said, I don't remember. You said you turn that treasure in for money at the end of the game?
At the very end of the game, you have to turn in money to get the ultimate ending, I guess. So all your earnings that you make, all those coins you've been saving up, alone, they're not going to do much, but every level has a hidden, not every level.
I was going to say, I don't think it's every level.
No, it's not every level. I'm sorry. They're scattered throughout the worlds, but it's a good handful. I think it's like the alphabet.
I think there's 26 of them.
Yes. If I remember correctly, there is a letter for each space. It's like A through Z, and you fill them all up. And once you do that, you're basically guaranteed to get the best final ending you can get. If you get underneath that, you're going to get different variations of it. Kind of like Metroid, it's kind of like how you percent a game. That's essentially what it was. So,
it makes sense considering it's made by the same people.
Oh yeah,
Metroid.
Absolutely. It's I love that you brought that up, actually, because when I replayed this game just last month in June and finished it up in early July, actually, I heard so many sounds in this game, and I saw so many images that were used that are the exact same thing in Metroid 2, the original Metroid.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I thought that was awesome, and I noticed that in Mario Land 2 as well. The
They're
pause sound.
Samus Returns.
Yes, Return of Samus. They reused a lot of the same sound effects, not necessarily music per se. Obviously, they're different games, but and just different backgrounds. I saw them like, oh, this was used in Metroid 2. I remember this. But yeah, they had the same creator, so there's a lot of influence back and forth on the franchises there. So at the end of each world, we have a boss. Let me look up the bosses here.
I think there's 7 of them.
Oh yeah.
Because one of the worlds is completely hidden. Because I remember unlocking that. Is it Sherbert Land? Is that the secret world?
Yes, I believe so. Sherbert. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's the secret one.
Oh heck yeah!
Nailed it.
Okay, so we out of all the bosses, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 bosses. As when I replayed this, I think the villains the bosses actually vary in their difficulty for how hard they were. They're not.
They were all pretty easy, if I remember right. Weren't they the Mario formula? Hit them 3 times and they're done.
They were, but no, but fun. He was easy. All you had to do was pick him up, and you literally toss him off the edge, and he's done. You hit him, and you
fun or a bit fun, yeah.
Fun, yeah. You tossed him off the edge, and he was done. I mean, he was toast. Maybe you had to do it 3 times, but he was very easy to attack. And then the bird the bird. I felt like was kind of difficult, Bobo. And then there's a ghost, Zen. I can't say it.
Zenasuke or something.
Yeah, Zenasuke or something like that. He was kind of annoying because he would shoot out little ghosts that you had to jump on their heads, and then you use them to throw back at him. But if you touch him, you actually get shivers and you shake in place, and he'll shoot out more mini ghosts at you, and they can damage you. And in this game, when you get hit, you don't just shrink down to the next level. It's like the original Mario. You lose all of your power-ups, and you go back to little small Wario, which was very frustrating at times. But Spike Pirate was easy. Buffoon was easy. Hinyari was easy. Fun. If you don't know how to fight him, he can be very difficult. But as you get going, he is... He can be easy once you figure him out. But yeah, and then the final boss is all about a genie. So we're actually going after Princess Syrup.
Yeah, I don't think she's in this one though.
She is in the game.
She?
Yes, because you never beat it. So she's in the game. It's the whole point.
Syrup's Castle. Okay.
Yeah, Princess Syrup is in the game. You're chasing after her, basically, but you don't actually fight her. So the thing is, she basically, when you get to the final room, spoilers, everybody, she's laying in a bed, and she wakes up because Wario busts in, and then she rubs the genie lamp, and then voila, you're fighting an evil genie at the end of the game. He's a massive genie. And the way you beat him is simply by you have to get his genie lamp, and then you have to jump on top of his head you have to hit his head basically with the genie lamp. So he can be a little difficult because he's a massive character, but the tip top of his head's small in comparison to the rest of his body. And you have to eventually hit this lamp while dodging him because he gets difficult as the fight goes on. The genie lamp will start to puff out smoke clouds to allow you to jump up to get up to his head easier. So it takes some time to do, and I remember it took me a couple tries to re-beat him here this past month, a couple weeks ago. But I remember vividly where I was when I beat this game. I was homesick from elementary school. I was laying in my mom and dad's bed because my mom was home taking care of me. But I had like a fever or something, and I was playing this on the original gray brick Game Boy. I wasn't playing on my Game Boy Pocket or whatever. I was playing on the original one, and when I completed it, it was like a milestone for me as a kid because it was my second game I had ever beat. And as a little kid, like that's validating, that really is validating. And I had like a sense of pride that I beat this game. And not only did I beat it, I did 100% the game because after you beat the game, it shows you where hidden treasures are in past levels. Like it doesn't tell you where they are. It just says, hey, there's hidden treasure in this level. So I know I did. I went back and I recollected everything after that was done. So once you do that, now I want to spoil it here. The most treasure you have at the end of the game, depending on what you did, that depicts on your final product for the final cut scene, you could call it. Basically, you're trying to build a mansion throughout the whole game. So Wario's mansion. Once you beat the final boss, the tower syrup castle crumbles to the ground, and it actually like forms a statue of Princess Peach. And Wario's like standing there in the background, and Mario comes along on a random helicopter, and he like gives the peace sign, and he takes this giant statue of Princess Peach and flies off into the distance. And Wario doesn't. Again, he gets nipped by Mario. He doesn't get to keep a castle. But then the genie's not evil. He was used for evil purposes. But once you beat him, you like break this curse or whatever he has on him, and the genie will grant Wario some wishes. So, but in order to grant Wario's wish, you have to trade in all your money that you make for the game. Okay, so when you trade in all your money, that is really dependent on what you're going to get in value for the strength of the wish. So when I replayed it like a couple weeks ago, I got a small little tree stump, cost thousands of coins because I didn't 100% it. But when you beat it, if you do 100% it, I think it goes from variations from like a house, tree stump to a house to a giant mansion. So there's like a lowest, medium, highest part. And as a kid, though, I got a mansion, and that was really encouraging and awesome to me. Again, this game is an adventure that is unlike any other Mario game, especially for that time. It was something unique and something special, and it opened up a world of new games for Wario as we got going. As you know, Kyle, with the other games. Now, Kyle. Since you haven't beat the game, but you love Wario, we're kind of stuck in this limbo of Wario gets a game and it's WarioWare. I mean, how do you feel about that? I know they sell really well, and they sell better than the Stinking Land games, which really is a bitter pill for us because we do enjoy these stylus ventures. Do you think Nintendo's ever going to go back to this formula of Wario?
Well, how many WarioWare games have there been? There's been what, 4?
Yeah, there's multiple. We have WarioWare Inc. The very first one was
like a DSiWare game.
No, it's for Game Boy Advance. The very first one, and then that came out in 2003. Then we had WarioWare Inc. on the Game Boy Advance, and then later that year we had WarioWare Inc. on the GameCube. And then we had WarioWare Inc. Twisted on the Game Boy Advance SP. That was like a gimmick with motion controls there. And then they had WarioWare Touched for the DS, WarioWare Smooth Moves, WarioWare Snapped, and then WarioWare DIY. And then WarioWare DIY Showcase. I don't know what the difference is there, but that's what it is, folks. So we have a handful of WarioWare games there. Now, I don't know how all of them sold, but they're a fun collection of mini games. They're unique and they're gross, and they represent Wario well. And they've honestly introduced a lot of new characters in the series that a lot of fans really like. You've even seen iterations of it in Smash Bros.
Yeah, yeah. So what I looked up the sales, and what I thought was pretty much accurate. So the best-selling Wario game is Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land, today's topic. The next two are the Wii and DS WarioWare. And then the next three are all Wario Land games.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So actually the Wario Land, all the Game Boy Wario Land games did well.
Okay.
So
that's honestly that's better than I thought off the top of my head. So I think that's really an awesome sign for hopes for a continuation of the Wario Land games. I mean, when they took it with Wario Shake It, they really used the motion controls. The game sold okay, I guess. I don't think it clearly wasn't the best, but
sold over 1 million copies, so decent.
Yeah, that's decent. I thought the art style was unique for it. It's really cartoony. I mean, it looks like a cartoon. The way he moves. As a matter of fact, you had me play that Wonder Boy game on the Switch that you bought me, and I beat it, and it was awesome, and it was beautiful art. But I got a vibe of that game while I have been revisiting this Wario game. Clearly, they're not the same, and the graphics are better for the Switch, but I do get that vibe. And I think it's really cool and unique, the direction they took it, but they also changed him. They changed what was the best part of Wario. It wasn't just his greed. It was, like you said, it was his grossness. It was the weirdness about him. And they got rid of all of it in Wario Shake It.
Yeah, I think that one, it's really a watered down Wario Land game. I mean, it's still fun, but there's not like too much exploring, and it forces you to leave the level and you have to go back and play it. And there's just some bad mechanics.
Right.
But that probably comes from, Nintendo R&D not making the game anymore since they do the WarioWare games.
Well, I mean, I think just take that team and just say, hey, make a Wario Land game. I would love to see, we talked about this with Mario, I would love to see land iterations of games on the Switch. Like, they combined their portables and their home consoles. And I could totally see in between like a massive AAA game style of Mario or Wario or Donkey Kong. In between, while we're waiting, release like Donkey Kong Land Returns, or release Wario Land Returns as an example. You know what I'm talking about? And they can continue this land series that's different and unique and not afraid to take risks, but it's not quite the same as the main title games, and it fills a gap. So you're still making games that are fun and really cool and that people are going to want to get, but they're they fill a need while you're waiting for the next big Mario game per se.
Yeah, I just don't think they want to risk putting a ton of time into it and money, or a decent amount anyways.
Unfortunately, probably not. But I mean, if they get into the sweet spot financially, Nintendo, I mean, they take more risks. I mean, look, they just made Hey Pikmin, and it's not a mainline Pikmin game, but it's essentially a Pikmin land version of a game. So you never know. I think it never rule it out. I will say that.
Yeah, I wonder what just from a popularity standpoint where Wario is like is Captain Olimar, more popular? That's why they make a Pikmin game.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, did Miyamoto even make Wario?
Miyamoto? No, that's the Metroid team. One of the guys on the Metroid team came up with Wario.
He came up with Wario, but he put him in Miyamoto's world, and Miyamoto created Pikmin, and Miyamoto loves to promote Miyamoto self-made things. That's why Mario's his baby. I mean, Zelda's his baby. Pikmin's his baby. Star Fox is his baby. I mean, he puts his hands in his franchises that he loves the most. So that could be a very well reason why you're not seeing much of Wario.
I guess there's not that many. Pikmin didn't get a game on the Wii, and
it did get re-releases though.
Yeah, but there was no Star Fox on Wii.
No, it got moved to Wii U. Pikmin got re-releases of Pikmin 1 and 2 for the Wii with Wii Motions, which are really fun and improved on the original games.
But so I don't know. I think maybe it's just a matter of time.
I hope
and they'll do another Wario Land. I mean, they made 2 amiibos of him, so.
Oh, I mean,
that's more than
they clearly don't forget about him. He's in every Mario Party. He's in every Mario Kart, and not only that, he still does get his fun little mini games, his niche games in there. I don't view those as a mainline Wario game. They're a side little fun mini game. He's still recognized. I think he is a valuable character to Nintendo. He's just, and maybe if there is a B list, he would be a B list of characters, or maybe even a C list. He's definitely not on the A team, but he has a role for Nintendo, and I like that he's still relevant. Putting him in Smash Bros. Come on, I mean, granted, I still don't think the Smash Bros. Iterations represent him the best. I would love to see Wario as a better representation in Smash Bros. Because like the outfit they give him, his custom outfit is from WarioWare. It's his motorcycle gear, and I mean,
you can switch to the one, but it's not his main one.
Right, it's not advertised. It's not it's not like Mario or Luigi when they put them on there and it's them in their original garb. I would love to see that with Wario, the way you see him in Mario Kart and in Mario Party. That I think would do better. I mean, his final smash, for goodness sakes, he could do way more than what he does than flying around in a silly like purple cape that he gets.
That's from the Disguise game.
Yeah, it's so silly. I think that they could do way better than that. Now, don't get me wrong, they do make him disgusting. They do a good job of that. I mean, golly gee. He has like a megaton passing gas attack, and he puts his giant mouth out and he can chomp on you. But I do think that they could represent him from what he does in the Land games a bit better than what they do, personally. But, well, Kyle, I want to give a moment again where you can tell everybody where they can find you, because I want them to follow you on Instagram and Twitter and be able to see your artwork that you post up, because it's good stuff, man. So go ahead and let everyone know where they can find you.
It's just at Kyle Martin Art.
Kyle Martin Art, everybody. Awesome. Kyle, again, thank you so much for filling in. Again, I know we were kind of putting a bind here without having Ryan on tonight, but no, it's always a pleasure to have you on as a guest, especially when we get to talk about a beloved character that you enjoy so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, no problem, dude. I have to do a little bit of due diligence before we close out here. So everybody, you can find us at dayspace.com/Nintendo Nostalgia. And we're obviously on iTunes, so you can go look up our name there, or on Google Play. And find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Nintendo NOS. We're on Twitter at twitter.com/Nintendo_NOS. Instagram, we are now on Instagram if you did not know. We're under the username of Nintendo NOSIN. So Nintendo NOSIN. And guys, we have an email. We don't get any emails. We would love to start getting some emails at nintendonostalgiain@gmail.com. And one last quick thing here, guys, before we close out. We're really trying to push our comments and reviews on our iTunes account. The more comments and reviews we get, the more people are going to be able to find us, and it's going to help the show grow and help our community grow. And guys, we want to thank you, everybody who has supported us and who has given us feedback and who has gone and given us star ratings and reviews. They mean the world to us. They really do. Ryan and I love to do what we do every week, and it's fun and exciting to engage with everybody in the chat. And I encourage you guys, just send a request to join the chat room so we all can talk about the upcoming games or games that we've talked about, or the latest and breaking news and games we are playing. So guys, please see us on all that, and we would love to just have you join the community. So thank you all so much for listening, and we will be back next week out of the Game Boy format, but back to another episode of Nintendo Nostalgia. So everybody, have a good one.
Adios.